Today, we're going to dive into the story of a man who didn't just run races. He ran towards a whole new future, not just for himself, but for his entire country. This is the absolutely incredible journey of Haile Gebrselassie, one of the greatest long-distance runners in the history of, well, ever. And this quote from Haile himself, it just hits the nail on the head. It's the perfect way to kick off his story because it's a powerful reminder that some of the greatest people come from the most humble beginnings imaginable. You see, for young Haile, running wasn't about a sport or some training regimen. No, it was just his life. It was his path to a classroom, and it turned out to be the very first step toward a life he could have only dreamed of. Okay, so to really understand the champion, you first have to understand the boy. His story kicks off in Haile, Ethiopia, where his journey was literally carved out of necessity, long before he ever even saw a professional running track. I want you to just try and picture this. Every single morning, this was his commute. Not on a bus, definitely not in a car, 10 kilometers, on foot, just to get to school, carrying his books the whole way. And when school was done, the day wasn't over. He had to turn right around and make that same 10-kilometer journey all over again to get back home. We're talking a 20-kilometer round trip. That's nearly a half marathon every single school day. And here's the detail that just blows my mind. He did this day in and day out, and often without any shoes. This wasn't some choice to be tough. It was just his reality. And this incredible hardship, it was accidentally forging a level of endurance the world had literally never seen before. And this is what's so important to get. His motivation wasn't a gold medal. It was a better life. Every single step he took was fueled by this deep desire to support his family and make his country proud. The running, that was just the engine for his incredible determination. So how does a kid running to school become a global superstar? Well, all that raw endurance, built on the dirt roads of Ethiopia, was about to collide with the world stage. And let me tell you, the world had no idea what was about to hit it. His talent was just impossible to miss. Local coaches spotted him, and before you know it, at just 19 years old, he lands at the 1992 World Junior Championships in South Korea. This was the moment. He was a complete unknown, but that was about to change forever. He didn't just show up and compete, he completely dominated. He won gold in both the 5,000 and the 10,000-meter races. I mean, what a debut! With that one performance, Haile Gebrselassie didn't just announce his arrival, he kicked off an entire era. And after that stunning start, what came next was more than a decade of just unparalleled dominance. This wasn't just about winning. This was about completely rewriting the rulebook on what was humanly possible in long-distance running. Just let this number sink in for a second. 27. That's how many world records he shattered. It's insane. He wasn't just racing against the guys next to him. He was racing against history itself, and he was winning. And of course, the Olympic Games, that became his personal stage. He cemented his legacy by winning the 10,000-meter gold in Atlanta and then did it again 4 years later in Sydney. For Ethiopia, he was way more than an athlete. He was a national hero, a true symbol of hope and pride. So you'd think after conquering the track, he'd be done, right? Nope. He decided to take on the marathon, and in Berlin in 2008, he delivered one of the greatest performances you'll ever see. He became the first man in history to run a marathon under 2 hours and 4 minutes, just smashing the world record. But here's something you have to know. It wasn't all smooth sailing. Behind the glory, he was fighting these constant silent battles. He struggled with exercise-induced asthma. I mean, can you even imagine that for an elite runner? And he faced serious, career-threatening injuries. His real strength wasn't just in his legs. It was in his mind and his heart, which were just unbreakable. So what happens when one of the greatest to ever do it finally hangs up his shoes? Well, for Haile, retirement wasn't an ending at all. It was just a pivot from being a champion on the track to becoming a champion for his people. He took every bit of success he earned and he plowed it right back into Ethiopia's future. He started businesses, creating thousands of jobs. He built academies to find and support the next generation of young athletes. He proved that true greatness isn't just what you accomplish for yourself, but how you lift up everyone around you. So when you step back and look at the whole picture, from that barefoot boy on a dirt road to a global icon, what's his real legacy? It's a story of transformation on literally every level you can think of. His journey just teaches us some incredibly powerful things. He showed us that a grueling 20-kilometer run to school isn't a burden, it's a training ground in disguise. That physical challenges, no matter how big, can be conquered with mental strength. And maybe most importantly, that your own success finds its deepest meaning when you use it to help others succeed too. And all of this leaves us with a question, doesn't it? Hale's first marathon wasn't a race. It was a run for an education. His story is this amazing reminder that we are all running our own unique race, facing our own seemingly impossible challenges. So I'll leave you at this to think about. What's the marathon that you're training for?